We are inside our movie list component, and I want to introduce you to a new directive that we are going to use throughout our application, and that is v4 directive. So v4 directive allows us to loop over an array or properties of objects and render them inside our component. So here let's define a data property, and we also have to return a new object, and I will just create a list of movies, just a basic example. So we'll have an array of objects. So let's have an ID of 1, and also let's have a name of, let's say, movie 1. And we can copy this a couple of times. And let's change this to 2, also here, and this to 3. Okay, so now here inside this div, I just want to render a UL here, and for every list item that we have, let's create a v4 here. So this is a regular for loop, so we can say for movie in movies, and then here we can use this mustache syntax and we can display movie dot name. If we save, we go here, well, we have our movies rendered. So let's actually add some style here, and let's move this. So let's add style, and let's add color white. So now it's a little bit clearer. So we have a warning here. So elements in iteration expect to have vbind key directives. So what this actually means. So Vue uses a in-place patch algorithm when updating a list of elements rendered with v4. So instead of moving DOM elements around to match this new order inside our array, Vue will try to reuse DOM and patch the contents of that DOM element to reflect the content that should be rendered at that specific index. So key is a special attribute that Vue will use inside its virtual DOM to identify nodes when comparing new list of nodes and old list of nodes. So when we add keys, Vue will reorder elements based on the order change of keys and not the order of DOM elements. So performance is better with the default algorithm. However, there are some potential issues that you can run into when not using keys. So let's let's bind a key property here. And something to mention also that these key attributes, they have to be unique for every element that we are rendering with this v4. So let's add a key movie.id. So you should use either strings or numbers and not some complex data structures. So if we say, well, the error is gone, we still have the same behavior happening. And another thing that you can do here is you can also take the index of this element. So we can add index. And then here, let's add index, and we can also display this index. So index, and let's just add. Okay, so we have at position 0, we have movie 1 and so on.